Hello guys, so I just wanted to quickly hop on here before I start this video to give a thanks to the sponsor of this video, which is the amazing personalized vitamin company Care of. Care of products are formulated with lovely, clean ingredients that are backed up by science, and they are super transparent about absolutely everything that they put inside their vitamins, making sure that you understand everything that you're putting in your body. I've been taking their vitamins for quite a while, and they're definitely my preferred brand of vitamins. I have complete control over what I'm choosing to take, what vitamins I can get that can really benefit me and reach my vitamin needs. And they seem like a super helpful, caring brand that kind of have a large range of options to cater to kind of everybody's needs and preferences when it comes to their vitamins, especially if you have no idea what to take, which is why Care of have an amazing holistic quiz that you can take quickly that makes it easy to show you the types of vitamins and supplements that you can get that would be most beneficial. They ask you specific questions about your diet and your lifestyle and your personal health goals in order to determine which products are best for you, where they recommend a tailored plan at the end. Another great thing about Care of is their vitamin packs are compostable and their packaging that they come in are all recyclable, which kind of drew me in to begin with, which I thought was just like a really cool feature. So the vitamins that I personally got is magnesium. I got vitamin B12, which helps with cognitive health, which I thought was a really cool feature and kind of didn't really realize could be included. Calcium for my bone health, and this one that I cannot say, which is great for after exercise and things like that. It's been nice in the new year to kind of add this to like my self-care routine, to just be a little bit more mindful about taking care of my body and just being a bit more mindful about my health too. And I feel like getting in a good vitamin regime is a really small but important way to do that. So please go and take the Care of quiz. I will link it in my description down below, and if you would like 50% off, click the link in the description down below and use this code. And I hope you check out Care of. They are a very decent company and I enjoy their vitamins a lot. So with all that being said, I'm just gonna let you guys hop on with the video, and I hope you enjoy, and yeah, see you later. Hello guys, I hope we're all doing well. Welcome to this video. I hope we're all coming here with love today and everybody's feeling nice and calm. Today I wanted to speak to you guys about body hair, and more importantly tips and a conversation about being confident surrounding body hair, since I know this is like a large subject, and I grew my body hair out last year. And it was quite like a big thing for me. Like, I have slowly kind of gradually gotten more and more comfortable with it to the point of where it doesn't even feel like a big subject to me anymore, because I'm so used to having body hair and it feels so normal to me now, even though it felt so strange for so many years, you know, shaving and stuff like that since I basically can remember. So yeah, I kind of wanted to speak to you guys about gaining confidence with it, because that is the main thing that I have spoken to people who have also want to grow their body hair out or have grown their body hair out, is kind of owning it and being confident with it within yourself, and also forgetting the anxieties surrounding your body hair and forgetting people's criticisms and everything like that, and just being confident about having body hair. And in my experience, a lot on the internet, what you see is criticism against body hair, but in real life, I've had mostly the opposite reaction. I've had a few reactions that haven't been that great, but mostly people don't care. And this video is not a video to make you grow your body hair out. I want to stress that enough. I would never dare tell anybody what to do with their body. I think that's mental. Like, I don't think that anybody should ever tell anybody what to do with their body in any regard. So this is not a video to do that. If you have a preference of shaving, girl, you do you, or boy, you do you. It honestly, it really doesn't matter. I think the stress is that it's a personal preference. So it's personal to you, and whatever you choose to do to make yourself feel comfortable and happy. So I know there's like different reasons to want to shave or not to shave, you know, and there's loads of reasons why people may choose not to shave as well. So for me personally, I stopped shaving because I had basically, ever since I started shaving when I was like 12, it always felt wrong to me. I was basically kind of, like most teenage girls, thrown into being like, you need to shave. Just kind of how things go in this particular Western society that we live in, is we are expected to shave. And you are just kind of thrown into it and not really understanding that there's a choice around the matter. You're kind of just told that, or for me anyway, I was just told that hair on girls is weird, hair on boys is normal. And that's kind of what was my general understanding of it until a few years ago when I started to understand it a little bit more. But I remember kicking up a fuss, or there was that conversation like at school when you kind of start talking about shaving with your friends and such like that. I don't know if anyone else had that, that might not be a general thing. But, you know, I'd speak about it with friends and stuff. And I was like, why do we have to do this? I was like almost furious because I think somebody pointed out that I had hair under my arms, and I was absolutely furious about it because I was like, well, yeah, like, so I didn't really know anybody that didn't shave. Like I kind of was just like, okay, so apparently this is weird, so I have to shave. But I remember kicking off about it and being really upset that I had to shave. So really when I came to a place where I'm getting more comfortable with myself, I decided to stop shaving because it was something that I'd always wanted to try and do. It was just like a curious thing to how it would make me feel to allow that natural side of me to come out, because I wasn't wearing makeup, I wasn't doing anything to my hair anymore. So I was like, well, I'd like to kind of see what it would be like to not shave. I'm not gonna ask anybody for permission for this. I'm not gonna tell anybody about this. I'm just gonna do it. I started to grow out my armpits first because like I thought that was cute, and that was the thing that really bothered me, was the armpits. And then I kept shaving my legs for a long time. Followed quite a few people on Instagram that also didn't shave, and I was just like, wow, that's so good for them. Like they're just so like confident and comfortable with their natural selves. Like that's really cool. So then I kind of wanted to do that too, you know, and for some reason it was just such a weird thing for me because I don't think I completely understood that it was natural. Like it still kind of felt like something that wasn't natural, and I was like breaking the rules, even though, and then I just kind of started to slowly embrace more and more body hair, to my legs being shaved. Like I have hair on my stomach, which I was always quite ashamed of because like I have naturally not like dark hair for a ginger, but like darker hair than most gingers do. It's not like white or anything, it's kind of like a browny colour, I guess. I have like a little bit of hair at the bottom of my stomach that I started to grow out and everything like that, and it took me a long time to be comfortable with like every element of my body hair, especially my legs. My legs was a big one for me, but then I slowly kind of got confident with that too, and I am slowly getting confident. I haven't actually had an opportunity to have my legs out in the summer or anything with hair, so obviously don't really know how that's gonna go, but I have some ideas of how I want to handle that, if that makes sense. We're trying to make this a loving place because it's a hard enough subject to deal with as it is. So yeah, I thought I would kind of get into some tips on how I started to be confident with my body hair. So the first thing that I would recommend doing to be confident with your body hair is to not ask permission or apologize for anything that has something to do with the way your body looks or just in general. Like honestly, I've spent my life apologizing and asking for permission for things that overwhelmingly will only affect my life. It's taken a long time to get out of that, and I still sometimes fall back into that. But don't ask permission, because the start of not shaving my body hair, it stopped me for a long time. Whenever I would speak to people about the subject, like I had some supportive friends like I would be like, I think I'm gonna stop shaving, and they would be like, oh yeah, just like try it out, go for it, and didn't really care. But because it was such a big thing for me, because that like I had like that societal standpoint, you guys know that I like conformed to standards for so long because I was so insecure and everything like that for such a long time. But anyway, so that was like a big part of it, and I would speak to people about it over the years because again, like I said, it was something that I really wanted to do for a long time, and some people would be like, why do you want to do that though? Like, it's not even a big deal anyway, it barely takes any time. And I would have people that would kind of like install that into me anyway. Like, because I was on the internet a lot more and I would read more into things and overthink things a lot more, I would see a lot of people refer to it as unhygienic, making you look like dirty, making you look like a hippie, which like isn't offensive anyway. I heard like a lot of that and it really like got into my head, as well as just like being in the generation that I was. There was so much like shaming in my like younger generation, especially body hair, but also like just like everything. I feel like it's getting better now with younger generations, maybe not, I don't really know. And all I have reference to is my little sister being way more like woke than I am. Definitely stopped me at the start. Like, this is inevitably only going to affect me, so why am I asking all these other people for these choices? When I decided to grow out my armpit hair, which was the first thing that I grew out, I didn't ask anybody. I was like, this is something that I want to do, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and it's so natural. You know, if I'm trying to embrace every natural part of me, for me, I wanted to embrace every natural part of me. Something that I want to do, that was my logic behind it, and that's something that I wanted to do, so I should be the only person that I'm asking. I shouldn't be asking society's standards, because society gets so much wrong anyway, so I should just be asking myself. So when I asked myself, do you want to do this? Yes, you do. So I didn't tell anybody. And like, I think it took me a long time to figure out that it's not normal for others to tell you what to do, especially when it comes to your body. And I know that sounds like, it might sound obvious to some people, it might sound like, well, I can have my opinion on everything. Yeah, you totally can. Physically can't understand why anybody would have the interest or want to tell anybody what to do with their body, especially when it comes to like personal choices with your body, even if you're in a relationship with them. And we're going to be getting onto that in a minute, because like that was something that also stopped me, was a lot of people saying, yeah, well, I have a preference and I don't have to date people that have body hair. Don't date somebody with body hair then, but you cannot physically inflict it on somebody else. You can have your own personal preferences, meaning preferences for yourself, but inflicting it on somebody else, even if you're in a relationship with them or sleeping with somebody and then asking them to shave, is not okay. Telling anybody what to do with their body is not okay. And I think I was in the mindset throughout a lot of my teenage years when I thought that whatever my partner had to say about my body mattered, when it just doesn't. Like, if you're dating somebody that is shaming you for natural elements of your body, it's not right. There's never going to be anything normal about somebody wanting to make choices for your body, especially because why is somebody relying on somebody else's body to make them happy, to fulfill them? Like, if you really want to have that preference, just don't date people that do that. And then like, if it suddenly becomes a problem within your relationship, you've either got to change your opinions or just, it's not going to work, clearly, even if you're with them for a long time, because inevitably, even if you feel like you're one, you're not. You're independent people with independent feelings, and you should never have control or want to have control over what somebody else does with their body. Don't apologize for it as well, because I had some criticism when I started to kind of wear my armpits out in the summer and stuff a lot. Not from like friends or anything. Just don't apologize for it. Like, basically, I just decided that the people that were really offended about it, I just wouldn't speak to it about them. I was gonna carry on doing my thing because it didn't harm anyone, it didn't affect anyone. Like, sorry if you don't like seeing it, but just don't look. You know, I'm not there to just be looked at. I am somebody that is there to be a human, you know, not just to be looked at. If I want to have a conversation about a concern or something, I would just speak to somebody that I knew was on the same board as it, like one of my friends. And also, the thing is, you can try to have conversations with people like this. I'm not saying that you have to accept like that criticism for something that is so natural, but you can try to speak to them about your choices behind things like that, but just not apologize. I don't always think necessarily the answer is being angry, and instead I've just been like, well, okay, this is my choices behind it. These are the facts that are dispelling them, and if you just don't like the look of it, you don't have to look at it. General conversations with people like that and your friends, you should speak to them and just be like, hey, this is my choice. I don't appreciate you making comments about my body either, no matter how close we are. So another tip that I have is forgetting or removing negative views. And I'm talking about your negative views as well as other people's negative views. So something that also really got in my head, like, and actually I grew out my armpit hair, and then about 4 months in I shaved it, because I was getting really insecure and I was having all these kind of negative thoughts about it come into my head and go back out about it. For me, it felt really wrong and really uncomfortable, and I was like, why did I do that? If you are telling yourself like constant negative beliefs or affirming negative beliefs in your head about your body hair, you need to stop repeating them to yourself. If you have a problem with it and it just keeps coming up in your day, when you say something like that to yourself, take note of it and take mental note and just be like, hey, that's not true. Because I think a lot of the time we can pick up things that people have said and they subconsciously stick with us for years. And you can constantly repeat this to yourself to the point of where you start to feel like that is actually the way you feel and start acting upon anxiety instead of actually acting on your genuine, like, your genuine thoughts about the subject. If this is something you feel like you want to do and you are constantly repeating yourself negative beliefs around it, just kind of check yourself on it and just take a mental note and try to understand why you are doing that. You know, creating like positive mantras, creating like value lists, and you can create like a list on why you'd like to do this. And refer back to it. I also started, when I started doing this and I started to kind of let go a little bit within my spiritual journey and started to kind of get off the strict diets and grow out my body hair and, you know, embrace my natural hair and my no makeup face, I created a body positive board on my Pinterest page that I would like refer back to when I was feeling insecure, and I'd just be like, they're beautiful, this is beautiful, this is normal. Like, just because the internet says that one thing is the social standards doesn't mean that I have to follow that. And you can, and also, like I say in most of these types of videos, you can follow more positive accounts that embrace body hair and everything, like, and refer back to them when you're not feeling so great. And also when you get insecure and when you find your insecurities popping up, it might be a good idea to take a mental note of when in the day you kind of find these insecurities popping up, whether you're with someone specific, whether you're on social media. Because like a lot of the time for me, it was social media that would kind of make me a bit insecure about that and have like get me like weird ideas in my head. And just remember that social media isn't reality and that the general public are very different to social media. No matter how much we live on social media or we live through social media, like the general public doesn't look the way that people do on social media. You know, obviously depending on who you follow and stuff like that, that not everybody absolutely hates body hair either. And that maybe more people than you think would have body hair and just allow their body hair to grow. Like, just because you see like waves of people being funny about it online doesn't mean that that is the reaction that you're going to get in real life. I would expect criticism from some places, but understand that that is not a problem with you, and a problem with how they have been believed to be things, and maybe you would have felt the same way 5 years ago. So you just have to remember that they're usually the people that have maybe fallen victim to believing that normal is that their normal is the normal for everybody. You know that's not true. We know that's not the reality of things. So just spend time with yourself and get used to being with your body hair. You know, look at it frequently if you want, look at it, you know, whenever you feel comfortable. Just spend time, like, I think you should spend time naked more anyway. Like, since I've been spending more time naked with myself, I've become so much happier and more confident with my body in general. I have a video on body confidence, but just like make friends with it again, like make friends with your body hair, spend time with it, look at it, you know, take care of yourself. The next thing is something I always seem to have in these videos, is to kind of start educating yourself on basically the history and your understanding of body hair, the politics, the history and the fashion of body hair, and how it hasn't always been normal to shave, and how it's definitely a fashion and a political and not a historical thing at all to shave, and nobody really even had the ability to shave, which wasn't really that long ago, that how it was seen as normal. And also understanding like the misconceptions about body hair, like it being more smelly, which it definitely isn't. Like if you wear deodorant, it works all the same. There's like lots of things that I think people try to use as a way to shun people with body hair that I think it's important to kind of grasp and understand. Again, these people may be approaching things with judgment, but it's just how they have come to believe things. Like, you know, sometimes you can't always control how you feel about something at a point in your life, and you suddenly feel different about it. years on, but there's absolutely nothing that you can do about, you need to remove that task. You can't be like the main educator in their life for this stuff and just live your truth. And also just like check your own past criticisms of shaving, and if you're having like any insecurities that are coming up frequently about shaving that you may think are fact, research it, because trust me, it will probably not be fact, or it might be very different to what you thought it was. Like, I remember actually being really shocked when I first stopped shaving, and also absolutely loving it when I suddenly aware of the fact that, so like body hair was heavily like unrepresented in the media in general, obviously, but even in like historical films, like the historical accuracy is so skewed. I remember watching the Portrait of a Lady on Fire, beautiful film by the way, one of my favorites, seeing them have body hair and being like, I've never seen that before in a historical film. Why have I never seen that before in a historical film? And being like, wow, this is great, and this has made me feel so much more comfortable, because there's these beautiful like feminine women that also have body hair. And that's also something that I noticed, is that having body hair made me feel more feminine with body hair than I did without body hair. It was really nice to see that represented in the media too. So yeah, I think in general it's just good to know if you have any insecurities or doubts around it, to just educate yourself. I think also like educating yourself on general, the expectations from women when it comes to their bodies, the way that they look and everything like that. You know, I know that men suffer a lot with that, so in general like a lot of people suffer from those sort of issues. I'm not excluding men from this either. It's good to like educate yourself on that too. I have a lot of links and sources in my How to Love Your Body or How to Accept Your Body or something like that. Yeah, and just understand that you don't exist to be looked at, firstly, to be the classic pretty. So, and also just understand that you don't exist for just for pleasure either. You know, you don't exist just for somebody else's preferences, to be the version of somebody's normal or society's version of normal. It changes so frequently, you know, and then suddenly that normal is like everybody's shunned if that's not the case. Take it at your pace. I'm really chaotic today, I'm sorry, my legs hurt so much. I'm gonna have to sit on a blanket or something. I think it's important to just do what you're comfortable with. Like for me, at first I was comfortable with growing out my armpit hair, and then I became more comfortable with the rest of my body slowly but surely. But you can like go to things at your pace. You can shave and then not shave and then shave again till you find like a comfortable ground for it. You can make mindful choices with it slowly and not feel the need to rush into anything. Like there's no rush to grow your hair if you don't want to, if you're not ready for it, if you need some more time to be more comfortable with other parts of yourself before you start embracing that other natural part of yourself. You don't have to show it off instantly either. Like a lot of suggestions that I saw online were people being like, just wear like a top that shows like a little bit of your hair off in the summer and stuff like that, and then when you feel more comfortable you wear tops like this. You can cover up with little things like this if you want. With legs as well, like I kind of had an idea that in the summer, like I'll slowly build it up. So I'll wear like long skirts and then I'll cut it down to a little bit short and a little bit short, because I've not experienced that yet. And that was something that I was really insecure about like a few weeks ago. And I was like, how am I gonna handle this? Like, should I just shave? And then I was like, no, like I don't feel the need to shave. Therefore, I'm just gonna slowly, gradually build it up until I feel confident with it. You don't have to be confident with it instantly. You don't have to feel like you are like in love with it instantly. Like it may take some time. You may want to cover it up some days and have out other days. Just work out what feels good for you. Like you can spend your whole life not shaving your armpits and shaving everything else. You can spend your whole life not shaving your legs and shaving everything else. Like whatever you want to do and whatever, just work it out for what feels confident, what feels comfortable for you. You can slowly grow to embracing it. It may take a few weeks, it may take a few years, it may be really hard for you to do it, it may take even longer than that. Work with what works best for you and be respectful of other people's choices to do with the subject too, and not like let it bring out a judgmental side of you. You know, if you want to explain your choices, people do. If you don't want to explain your choices to people and you feel like it's nobody's business, you don't have to do that either. It's absolutely not necessary. Yeah, just take it, like honestly, just vibe with it and be yourself. Don't enforce like your version of normal onto other people, because you know, all you can do is just speak your truth and live by your truth, which is hopefully what I'm doing here. These are just the tips that helped me, and it didn't take me much. So I'm gonna link some other body hair like posy ladies down below that have some amazing videos, including my lovely friend Jess, who's an angel, and she is actually one of the people that inspired me to grow out my hair. So I'll link her down below. She's amazing. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Love.